Hello, everyone, and welcome to Around South Jersey. I have one of South Jersey's most talented DJs, businessman, you name it. Bob Morgan does it, and Bob's great to have you with us. We got the BME Group, Event Group here.
Yeah, see that. It's great to be here.
It's nice to see you. I was with Bob last Wednesday as the group I was with rented the facility for a few hours. But I'll tell you what, Bob, I was so impressed. You and I think you and I and Millie had lunch a couple of years ago.
And we were just talking about doing all that.
Yeah. And you were just, that was your idea.
Right.
And for any of you who don't realize, Bob took over the Neptune and has developed it into a phenomenal venue. Tell us about how that came about and what you wanted to do.
Yeah, it was not in my life plans to own the old Neptune. It just happened where as our building grew, or our business grew over the years, I mean, we started in 2003, and then I was working out of my house. And then it ended up where I wanted to build, but at that point it was like, well, let's just get a building and rent and make sure we can keep things going with that. And then we did that for 5 years. And then the building was just too small for us because we added the photography and video and all that, and we wanted to have a place where we could practice with the guys and, you know, do different routines and stuff. And it just ended up where we needed more space. And from my window where I was working for 5 years, I could see the old Neptune building.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, that'd be a cool spot. And I never really looked in there, but as my lease was coming up, you know, for that building, because we were optioned to buy, it ended up where the price, once my lease was up, they kind of raised the price. And I said, look, this is just too much. I need a bigger space anyway.
Yeah.
So I went into the Neptune building, looked at it, and I was like, man, this place is a mess. It was abandoned for like 8 or 9 years.
That's
I mean, it was a
right.
long
Yeah,
time.
I
And
forgot about that.
Al Collini at the car wash owned that building at the, before he sold it to us.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he bought it in an auction, so he got it pretty cheap, but he still put like, I think he said 150,000 in.
Yeah.
And, you know, that sounds like a lot, which it is, but it was really a drop in the bucket considering how much of a mess that place was. We really took it down to just dirt. I mean, we did rafters and joists and all the electric, plumbing, alarms, drywall, like flooring, you name it, handicap ramps. Like, we had to do so much to it to get it to where it is. We had Delgado do the electric. He was amazing. Their whole crew was awesome. We had the best subs at, you know, for the whole project. But that's what ended up happening was it was just going to be our office. And then it was going to just be like, well, we did bridal shows there. We had all our guys in there. I had like 7 people working there, you know, video editors, photography editors, sales, like DJs, just bilingual. Like we had everything going on. And then, so we built the building. It took us 9 months to get everything situated. It was the end of October we moved in. We thought, wow, this is going to be a great year. Well, 2020, March.
Oh, no, COVID.
So, of course, everything got shut down, all our weddings, really they say to, you know, social distance. So here I am in this 9,000 square foot building by myself.
You were
know,
social
some of my guys were at Amazon or doing whatever, and everybody was kind of just trying to get through. And it ended up where every day for like 5 months, it felt like. It had to be 5 months. Every day I was either postponing or canceling weddings and events, like 4 or 5 a day. I would get calls every day saying, hey, we need to postpone, COVID, this and that.
Right.
And I remember, because when it happened, it was like March, and I kept thinking, well, you know, we'll postpone it till summer, you know,
June,
if you can make it happen, June, July,
Yeah.
and, you know, then we'll pick things up. Then June, July, people were postponing again. So sometimes I postponed people 3-4 times.
Wow.
And then it ended up where, okay, we'll do it in the fall. Then it was after, you know, before the holidays, after the holidays. Then it was spring. And it just kept going and going. And then it was March of 2021. We were still during COVID, but we have country line dancing there, as you know, so a lot of country line dancers come out. Because I taught that for 3 years at Centerton,
no
the
kidding.
Grove.
Right.
And it had a lot of great support with that. And they were kind of looking for a spot because everything was closed.
Right.
And we were doing it outside for a while. And we had great instructors doing that, Steve and Dawn and everybody. But we were doing it in a parking lot, and then it rained one day, and they went inside, And they said, we don't want to go outside no more. This is really nice. So then we started doing just the country line dancing because everybody could still wear masks, which they hated, but we wanted people to be safe. So we wore the mask, everybody social distanced and kind of 6 foot apart and doing that whole thing. So it was challenging, but we did that. And then at that point, people were saying, well, why don't you just rent it for events? And then that's when it ended up happening. Was we went back to the city and we said, look, we want to have events here. And I watched Sandy on her show, but she was a big help, as was the inspectors and all the contractors and Frank DiGiorgio. I mean, everybody with the city, because we had the UEZ and all that. We did Franklin Bank with Rick Dapp. We had so much help and so much support getting through this whole thing.
Is Rick still with Franklin Bank?
No, he moved. He retired, actually. He's in Florida fishing.
Oh, okay.
He might be there now.
He's a good guy.
But yeah, so it ended up where we went back to the city and they said, look, you have to do so much more to get it ready for having people, And so then we had to go back to the architect and the engineer, and then we had to go onto the floor and bulk it up and do a lot more stuff. It was like another $40,000. So it was so during COVID we gave back like $40,000 in refunds, and then with no income, and then another $40,000 going for repairs. It was just like, when does this end? And then you're finally doing weddings, but a lot of them were paid for, which really got us through. So it was a struggle. And
I guess so. Wow.
But we've had enough. I mean, we're referred by a lot of people. We do a lot of events. We have a great crew. Like, our whole staff is amazing. And it really helped, keep them busy.
Yeah.
And plus, we were diversified. So we had the photography, DJ, photo booths, lighting, cinematography, the hall. So we had other options. So it wasn't just like, okay, this part of the business died and now you can't do anything. We were able to keep going because we had a lot of options for people. We were doing micro weddings, all that kind of stuff.
Now, do you use your hall for the weddings?
Yeah. We actually just started doing that. This past year we really started doing a bunch of them. It was fun.
And
because we have the little side room that does. Right now there's a church there on Sunday. We're renting it out for yoga during the week. That's picking up again because we did that through COVID too. And now we have the yoga going on, and then we use it for a ceremony room. So we pipe and drape everything and make it nice, and that could fit I think 70 people. So, with our hall, our max is 96 with a dance floor.
Right.
And there you go. So that definitely we have the uplighting, so whatever colors you want, we can make the room that color. We do Shivari chairs as well, which we had. That's our photo booth, plasma screen, so if they want slideshows. But it's very cool. You could have all kinds of different events. People bring their own food, or we recommend different caterers that could come in.
Right.
We have the sodas and juices and all that.
I had that the other night.
Yeah, yes, you did.
Diet sodas.
Yeah.
Pepsi or whatever it was. It's good.
Yeah.
Really.
So it's pretty cool. But we've been pretty busy. We've been fortunate, and now it's just getting crazy busy. This is considered like the booking season, really, for DJs and everything. Yeah. So because everybody gets engaged a lot of people get engaged for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day. Right. And then after that, you're still busy. Yeah. But this is the craziest time.
I've done over 400 weddings.
Man.
Of course, I was the mayor of Millville for 12 years. And then what was fortunate was they allowed me as mayor emeritus to continue doing them. And I remember one Valentine's Day, Bob, I did 5.
Wow.
As you talk about popularity.
You're moving.
I had I was. And I had a funny experience. I did 3 on a Christmas Eve, probably 20 years ago. Anyway, one of them, 2 I did at the Christmas tree at High and Main. And one of the couple I knew, they said, Jim, could you come to our house? I said, sure, I'll go anywhere. Call, house, anywhere you want. So I went to their house. They were out East Main Street. And I knocked on the door, and the bride and groom-to-be came up, and they went like this to me. Shh. So what happened was they were having a Christmas party downstairs. It's Christmas Eve, and none of their friends knew they were getting married.
Oh, that's so cool.
So they had the friends come upstairs, and they saw me, and they went, that's the marrying mayor. You guys getting married?
That's so cool.
That was so cute how they did that. I said, yeah, we are.
The officiants are so important, and I became a backup officiant. My guy Angel's a backup. I think Chris Hanna's a backup. He has Cole the Deaf Dog Project.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Angel
That's
was
great.
Teacher of the Year a couple
That's
years
super.
ago.
Yeah.
They're officiants as well.
Well,
and it
that's
really helps.
Nice.
Backup.
It really is, because you can now go online and you get your minister program or whatever you need to do that. So it is important to have the backup. And,
and for us, like I don't necessarily don't want to be the officiant, but if an officiant doesn't show, I can still make it official.
Right.
I get everything in the truck. We'll do it, and I'll make sure everything's correct. And now Angel will do it. He wants to do that too. He plays guitar, all that. But
that's nice.
But I look at it as there's officiants that are really, really good. That's what they do.
Yep.
They have the whole thing. You know what? They're going to make it beautiful. Mine is just like, hey, he didn't show. I don't want to introduce you as just dating still to your reception.
Yeah.
You know, do you want to make it official? Let's do it. You know.
Well, and you've
still
got a
make
good
it nice.
personality too. I'm sure you do a nice job with it. You know, as well. So it's and you know what? Having been in politics, and thank God I'm out of it. That was a pleasure, because people were nice to me. Nobody's yelling
They're
at me.
in a good mood at that
Yeah,
point.
exactly. Nobody's yelling at me. Why didn't you fix my pothole around my house and all this kind of stuff? So they were fun things to do, and I have some great memories. And it's interesting, too, Bob, you talked about being from North Jersey. You grew up there. What town did you grow up in?
Garfield. So I lived in Garfield until I was like 18. I moved to New Hampshire for 2 years, and then ended up. So that was different from North Jersey, and then came down here, and this has been great. I've been here since '82.
That's good.
So it's been really cool. Yeah.
Well, and
it's different, but it's nice.
It is, yeah. Well, and we've got a lot of nice amenities, and you know.
It definitely got a lot more. There's a lot more options and things happening now.
Yeah, less traffic. I was actually. I did one in Passaic. I don't think I did any weddings in Bergen, but my goal was to do one in every county. It was 21 counties, but I've only made 11.
That's pretty good. That's really good.
Yeah, well, relatives, like in Monmouth, Joey Pierce says, Bim's Pizza's daughter got married at Passaic, whatever the college.
Passaic County.
Yeah, well, the college. I got accepted, or Patterson, William Patterson.
William Patterson, okay.
So her husband was a security police officer there and stuff, so I did wedding up there with them, and had relatives in Monmouth County, and had some more in Mercer County. But it's fun. And what is interesting, as of course you can do it anywhere, I can only do weddings in the state of New Jersey. That's all my control thing is. Kind of another interesting thing. I don't know if you ever been to the Lobster House?
Yeah.
Well, the Lobster House, I didn't know they had an upstairs.
Yeah, we do weddings there too.
Yeah, I should know you do. So it was very nice, as you know. It's beautiful upstairs and all. So anyway, I had the license to fill out. So I filled the license out, and I put Cape May, and they're in Upper Township. So I had to redo the whole license. They were just this side of the bridge of Cape May. So you learn a few things from time to time. But when you were in school, like in high school, what did you think you wanted to do?
I'll tell you the truth. I was hoping I'd get to this age. So I'm playing with house money right now. But you never know. So I'll tell you. I did construction.
Did you?
I did that when I was younger, and then I did. When you're a kid, you bounce around to different jobs. I did like fast food. I did install wood stoves. I did heating and air conditioning. I did construction. And then when I moved down here, I ended up working for, it was actually Eagle Painting, Bob Ashton and Mo Jacobs way back. So I worked for them for about 3 years. And then I just started my own painting company, which I did that in '85. So I had that till 2007. And so a long time with that. We had a good reputation with that. I had two great guys that worked for me. My stepson helped. We had a really good crew, good reputation. We did a lot of schools, houses, churches, commercial. But then it was funny because I always loved music, so it got to be where I started just playing music at like roller rinks and having fun with it, and then it ended up to be where I started doing little parties, and then I was doing both. So on the weekends, I would be thinking about, what's going to happen during the week when I get. I need block fill, I need spray paint, I need to do whatever. And then on the week, I'm thinking, all right, well, this wedding, I'm doing their song for the intro. So I said, at some point, I did that for like 3 years.
Wow.
And I said, I can't keep going with both of these. Something's got to give. And then I ended up going into the DJ full time. Basically sold my painting company to Larry Weitzel Painting. He was my foreman for 20 years. He was great. So he actually helped me paint the old Neptune building. But he's excellent, and like I said, he did that with me for 20 years, and now he's still going. So he's been doing it a long time. But we had, like I said, I've enjoyed everything I've done.
That's right.
And now it's to the point where, okay, well, I've been DJing weddings and parties and all that. We have a great crew. But now we've got the hall, so it's weird because I started as a painter. Then it was a DJ. Then it was a multi-op DJ because we added other DJs. Right. Then it was photography and video. We added photo booths. And then and now it's a venue. And I'm like, where does this end? Like, how did this happen? Like, I would have never guessed that I'm doing this. But I actually love doing the venue. It's pretty cool. And, it's great to just, especially at the Neptune. Yeah. And when we first redid it, the engineer was like, beyond repair, tear it down. And I said, I like the history of the building. Yeah. I don't, I could easily just said, tear it down. It would have been cheaper. Tear it down and put a metal building up and done. Right. But I love when people come in and say, oh, we used to eat here, or we worked here, or whatever. Yeah. We actually had a repast here last year. And the woman came in and she had a picture from the Neptune, because that lady used to walk around. Yes. I don't remember her name, but she used to walk around, take pictures and all that. So she had a picture. Her husband had passed, and she had a picture of them in a booth on on their wall where they had the memory table. And I said, well, if you want to come in the back, I still have a couple booths. Oh, so it was cool. Like,
you made their night.
Oh, she was like, oh my God, like I feel like he's here. And it was so cool because it just like the history of the place. And it goes back. I mean, that building's been around. The Historical Society put a clip. They sent me a clip from the paper. Someone was applying for a liquor license in 1938 in the township of Landis.
Oh, wow.
So it's been there a while.
It sure has.
And then it was the Wayside, I guess. And then
I forgot about that.
I don't remember what it was before the Wayside, but that's as far back as I got.
Yeah, that is really neat. We're talking with Bob Morgan of Bob Morgan Entertainment, the event group. He's got all kinds of great things for you. We'll be right back with Bob after these messages.
Her husband's so tall.
This was literally the most amazing wedding I've ever had.
It was absolutely the best. We want to thank BME.
Yeah, BME Event Group. We're Bob Morgan Entertainment. Then we went to BME Event Group because once we added the other services, what would happen is we used to do wedding vlogs afterwards.
The best wedding. I swear, it's been the best wedding
Bob Morgan was great, but it wasn't even me DJing. It was my guys. And I said, it's not fair to them. So we went to BME Event Group. Plus, we don't get caught up in spam because it doesn't say entertainment. Yeah, believe it or not, if it says entertainment, oh my God, we got caught up in so much spam.
Oh, jeez.
It's crazy stuff.
That's neat.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
I'm Brian Lankin, third generation business owner, Al Shoes. Been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off 25 and 10 off 100 if you mention that you've seen this.
When you want delicious food made from scratch soups and locally sourced ingredients, you head to Larry's 2 on Main Road in Vineland, New Jersey. Family owned and operated, Larry's 2 boasts one of the area's only salad bars with a great selection of fresh vegetables, rolls, dressings, and more. In their cafe, enjoy a piping hot cup of your favorite beverage made by one of their skilled baristas. Their complimentary Wi-Fi allows Larry's 2 to be the meeting destination with a friend or small group. They also offer banquet rooms that can accommodate 10 to 120 guests for any occasion. Open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. Call Larry's 2 today at 856-692-9001. Larry's 2 Restaurant and Cafe, located at 907 North Main Road in Vineland, New Jersey.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
Complete Care Health Network has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or an email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network. Ready when you are.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey, one of the most talented people in South Jersey, Bob Morgan. And Bob, I'm sure the event group you have, you've mentioned some of your people too. And I mean, I know you're good and you got started what you do, but it's nice to have a good staff to work with you, isn't it?
Staff is so important. We had, I mean, the first guy I was mentioning before, here's some of the guys up on the screen now. Kevin, he's one of our newer guys. He's a beast on mixing, and he's working in the office now. Vinny's awesome. Anthony's with me when I first started. Ty's another one of our young guys. Johnny, we have Alex. I mean, all these guys are just amazing at events and parties. Ricky, Christian, they've been with me the longest. Ricky, I think 2004.
Wow.
2005 he started. Christian, a little after that. He started as a cinematographer, did our editing, and now he's one of our main MCs. He's in the office full time, and I have Eric. He's been with me since 2005 with Ricky.
Wow.
Angel, again, Chris Hanna. We just have a great crew.
Well, you sure do. You got lots of people.
And it's funny because I just posted something the other day. It was a memory that popped up like 8 years ago, and just to see the crew that I had then. And some of the guys are still here, but some of them have moved on, either done their own thing or they just don't do it anymore, or it didn't work out for whatever reason. But it's funny just to see the changing of who's still with you, who's not. And like I said, Alvin, he was one of my first DJs, Alvin Rodriguez, fully bilingual, a lot of fun, Mr. Personality, man. He could, I'm telling you, everybody loved him. It was like family. And he was really good. And he used to say, how I met him was when I first moved here from North Jersey, we started doing different events, eventually like I said, we did the painting and then we did that, but we started doing events and there was a lot of country music. And I really wasn't listening to a lot of country music, except, you hear a little bit, but I had to learn like the country line dances because that was big at some of these parties.
Right.
So I went to Eugene's, now it's Tequila's, went to Eugene's and I used to go there on Wednesday night with Glenn Fisher. He's the one that taught me. And then I learned a lot from him. And Alvin used to do the Latin nights on Friday, Saturday. So he would come over on Wednesday nights, and then I would go to the Latin night with him.
That's neat.
And so he learned it. And it was funny because we used to do the bridal shows, and we used to go back and forth on the mic and all, and mess around. And he would say, I'd say, Alvin, do you know any country music? He goes, kidding? He goes, I'm the first Puerto Rican to do country line dancing. I go, where's your buckle? He goes, I got a buckle, but it says Puerto Rico. I said, all right, that's fine. But he was always a lot of fun, and he was one of my main guys, and it was sad because he had passed probably like 2 years ago now. It's tough. People come and go, and for different reasons, and some are hit harder than others when they aren't there anymore. Tony Rizzo is another guy. He was like, I met him at the paint store actually.
Yeah.
At Sherwin-Williams, he used to work there, and then he ended up moving right across the street from me in Millville.
Oh wow!
And And then he ended up to be like our IT guy, our photo booth guy, and all that. And he had a heart attack, and man, it's just tough, And
every day I read the obits, and I go,
yeah.
"Oh God, there's another classmate."
Yeah, when you see people that go, and you're like, man, and that's why it's kind of like DJing is no joke. I mean, it's a lot of work too. You have it's a 10, 12-hour day, and you have to make it fun. And like I said, I have a great crew that still rocks it out. I have young guys that are coming up that. They're doing all our school dances and proms and weddings, and it's just fun, man. I just like making sure everybody does what they're supposed to do. That's the main thing. When you're saying you're going to provide a service, you need to do what you're saying you're doing, and that's why we have a good reputation. We're referred because when we come in, we try to take the pressure off the venue. Like we want them to know that okay, he's going to work with us. He's going to make our life easy, and that's what our whole crew does.
Do you have any competition? I mean, you're like number one.
No. We're not number one. There's
in my
bigger,
book you are.
Well, around here we're probably up there, but there's a lot of great guys, a lot of great companies. Maybe they don't have the same amount of staff, but I know North Jersey. A lot of times they're coming down here too, or we go up there.
Oh, okay.
So there's bigger companies. There's companies that have been around longer.
But I don't imagine that most of those companies have a beautiful building like that.
No, that's. There's a couple of them that do, and they're like in Philly and all that, and they kind of gave me the goal to do it. And now that I've done it, and it wasn't in my game plan, it just worked out that way. But now, I'm to the point where we've got this room, which is great. We call it Vintage Hall. You can find it, with Google and all that. But Vintage Hall, that was another thing when we first started. We didn't have a name for the hall. We used to just call it BME Hall. And my guys were like, dude, you got to give it a name. You can't just be everything's BME. I'm like, I totally agree. We got to make this. So in order to get the website, we needed a name. In order to have it found on Google, we needed a name. So we came up with Vintage Hall because it's an old building.
Yeah.
But it's fresh. So we went with that, and we could hold like 96 with a dance floor. But now to the point where I'm really wanting to add on, and we'll see what happens with that. That's my goal. But I want to put on a part in the back of the building because we own all the woods behind Tequila's and the tattoo place. So I'd like to make like a nice outside ceremony area, and also a nice outside cocktail area. And then have a nice big building like, say, 50 by 120 where you have some storage, but then you have a big building that can handle like 200-something people.
Yeah.
Because right now I can't really do fundraisers because people want a lot of people, and I'm limited. And again, I just want a little more space so people can spread out. Say something happens with COVID again, you need a bigger room that could still handle a good crowd. So, not that anybody's going to shut down again. I can't see that happening. But, you have to be prepared for everything. And it's kind of like I just want a nice venue that has a bridal suite and all that, and just make it nice. There's a lot of great spots around here too that we recommend. Like again, when people hit us up, we're like, hey, we'll call Savoy, call Centerton, call Running Deer. I mean, they're the main spots.
Maz's does a nice job too. I've done many weddings there.
Been there
many
many
outside.
times.
Of course, Eastland has a really nice
Eastland
outside.
as well. Oh, Eastland, we're there all the time.
And
Rob's amazing. His food's amazing.
Yeah,
whole staff's really cool.
I've done weddings at the Grove as well. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I don't think I've done any at Jaworski's place. But
Running Deer.
Running Deer. Yeah,
we were recommended there before it was Jaworski owned, and they were just doing. It was a private club type of thing,
right?
Yeah.
And
the Millville track, we do stuff out there. Millville racetrack.
Yeah, my motorsports park buddies. Yeah. Alexander Bland was with us last Wednesday. He said, hello, Bob.
Okay, cool. Nice.
And Wes Zoyak, he's watching all the way from southern Florida. That's what's nice about YouTube and Facebook. It's amazing. I mean, we're on Channel 22. It's 67,000 homes in Cumberland County. But how many are watching? We don't have any way of measuring it. But it was really interesting with the Facebook and YouTube. Last year, we did Noble High School. Well, we've done it forever, football. They won the state championship, the southern part of it, and we had over 500,000 views during the season. You had 14 games. This year, we haven't gotten the totals yet, but I'm sure it's in that neighborhood as well, because everybody's watching on their phone, or whatever, they're at the game, or they're,
Yeah, and when they have the recording, they can jump around and
in fact, I think something the other day, I wanted to hear the end of it. Maybe it was the Eagles or something. So I had the phone on I guess it was mine. It was on YouTube. We had one of our high school games or something going on. So it is convenient to be able to see all of that. Now, is there, I know you do video, do you present them with the disc? Or
when we first started, we used to give them the DVDs,
right.
But then what ends up happening is DVDs, certain players work, certain players don't. Exactly. You can't fit it all on 2 discs.
Yeah.
So what we do now is we give them all the footage. We'll have like a 64 gig flash drive. We'll send them all their footage, but we clean up edit, obviously. Right. You don't want to have it where you're turning the camera on and you see the floor and the ceiling and all that. So we don't give them the raw footage, but we'll give them all the cleanup edits, all the the whole ceremony, its entirety, all the parent dances, all that. But then we also give them a highlight movie if they go for that package, and that will have all the the festivities and highlights of the day, and that will give them on a link that they could download and share. But then we give them a flash drive with that as well.
That's great.
So they have all their footage and coverage. The highlights are what. It's amazing. If you go on our website, BMEEventGroup.com, and go onto the cinematography page, you can see some samples.
Now, the thing that disappoints me, unless I'm wrong, you never started out DJing, did you? Did you ever work in a radio station?
No. It ended up where...
See, that's why you're wealthy.
No.
I had...
believe me, no.
Diane Allen.
If I had your money.
Yeah, right, it was that big money I made at WWBZ.
Yeah.
I started before you were born.
Yeah.
WWBZ, and it was $1.65 an hour, minimum wage.
Right.
The guy in Hamilton offered me a job for $1.50. I said, how can you do that? It's less than minimum wage. He said, this is radio.
Oh, man.
Diane Allen... I don't know if you ever remember her.
Yeah.
But I've had her on, and she and I had that same thing. She started at Mount Holly radio station at $1.50 or $1.65 an hour, and she said, Jim, it was unbelievable. And we both had college degrees and everything else, but it's it doesn't matter because people want those jobs, and you can bring in new people constantly because it's, and it's good that you enjoy what you're doing, but I realized I couldn't feed a family, so I did that. I taught during the day, and I did radio at night. On weekends and things like that. So I wish
I had that background, the radio background and all that, but I never.
You've done fine without it. What I admire is I can't do anything. I swear to you, I can't pound a nail. I'm lucky I can screw in a light bulb. I mean, my father said, get out of the way, I'll do it. So if I couldn't talk, I don't know what I would do. I did teach, and I did speech therapy and stuff, but I had that, and that gave me the opportunity to grow into my own business. And to your credit, you did a lot of construction, painting, and all that stuff to grow into your business.
Which helped really with the hall because that cut a lot of overhead out as well because I was able to do a lot of the stuff.
Yeah. Then thank God.
And I had Alvin with me again. He was a union carpenter, so he was like the foreman on the job and really kept things moving. So
we're talking with Bob Morgan of Bob Morgan Entertainment, and we'll be back with Bob. He'll tell you all the things that he can do besides painting and carpenter work and all that stuff. Things you may want to have done for your wedding or for a bar mitzvah, for any kind of things that are coming up. And we'll be back with Bob in just a moment.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
Well, Wildflower Vegan Cafe is one of the longest-running all-vegan eateries in the state, and the only one in South Jersey to feature so much local and organic produce, where everything is made in-house from scratch. We have a small seasonal menu that changes frequently. We can always find healthy, hearty salads, wraps, soup, and baked goods, all made in-house.
Imagine living without pain. For over 35 years, Doctors Beebe and Doyle have helped thousands of people find relief from all types of pain. Millville Chiropractic Center has 4 doctors on staff specializing in hands-on or light-touch, drug-free pain relief methods. The examination, x-rays, therapies, and adjustments are all performed at one location. Schedule a consultation today. Enjoy life without pain and discomfort. Millville Chiropractic Center, the area's #1 pain relief center.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Complete Care has some big news to share with you.
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day,
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network. Ready when you are.
Vineland, New Jersey is a place rich in innovation and deeply rooted in hometown traditions. The city's agricultural legacy, where brands like Welch's and Progresso originated, lives on today alongside companies producing the critical pharmaceutical packaging we depend on. While Vineland continues to grow, it retains a quality of life enriched by cultural diversity and an abundance of nature's playgrounds to enjoy.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. We have something for everyone at VinelandCity.org.
Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Interested. Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Bob Morgan of Bob Morgan Entertainment is our guest, and one of the premier entertainment companies in South Jersey for sure, and got a lot of good people and a lot of good reputation. And you know, your reputation precedes you, Bob, and to your credit and to your staff's credit, it's a good one. People talk about, oh my God, they did our wedding, it was fabulous, we really enjoyed it. And George has some photos or some video, I guess, of some of the weddings. How many weddings do you figure you've done?
Man, I know, like on our books, it always says we have like 200 to 300, and like, you know, coming up. Like I know we have like 300 coming up right now.
Right.
But I think, I mean, we have to do maybe 600 events a year.
Okay.
500 a year.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Somewhere around there.
Look at some of these great pictures, huh?
Yeah, our photographer's amazing.
He's
Angela Riley, she's our main photographer. She's always, she does all the editing.
Wow.
A lot of them, so.
Well, look at that beautiful shots. Holy cow.
Yeah, she does a lot of the editing on a lot of them.
Do you know where that is?
It's Philly, of course.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of this stuff is just.
Boy, that's beautiful.
That was Ash. He had done that picture. That's our photo booth.
Oh, that's cute.
So that gets out of control, you know.
Yeah.
And our photo booth does videos and pictures, so it's pretty cool. You know, yeah, we just we love what we do.
Yeah.
And
it
you know,
shows.
this is people's memories. This is the stuff that you know
they'll have forever.
They'll have forever. And like I said, the video, they can do that, but that's the dancing on a cloud effect. That's really cool.
Oh, that is cool.
That definitely makes a nice picture and all. You know, but yeah, it's we love what we do, and like I said, just you know, that was Eastland, but yeah, I mean, so we just have a great staff, and it really does help. It does make my life easier knowing that they're handling their end of it, because like our photographers handle the photography, and the cinematographer does the cinematography. So as a matter of fact, our cinematographer, our main guy, I'm sure you've heard of Bobby Rydell.
Yeah, sure. Very much so.
All right, yeah. Well, his grandson
no kidding.
is our cinematographer.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Rob, he's excellent. He does a lot of amazing work. He does all our editing for the cinematography. You know, he DJs a little too, but more so with the cinematography. He loves doing that. And he has an eye for it, man. He just makes it look really good.
Well, I'd say George and Ryan, my people here, are amazing. What they do.
I saw what George was doing in the backwoods stuff. Is pretty cool.
I admire them so much because I can't do anything.
It's a lot of work, man. It's a full-time job just doing that, just editing.
Yeah.
Believe me, I pay people all day to edit. Like a lot of times people say, "Oh, you're so much money," and you know that's what's tough too. Like, so we've built our reputation up, we've built our name up. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, they're great. They do an excellent job, but they're expensive."
Yeah.
Everybody thinks, "Oh, because we're up there that we're expensive," but really, I mean, we're on par with mostly everybody else that's reputable. So, you know, and our crew's been with us, so I can't keep paying people $5 an hour and say, you know, here, work for 30 years.
Well,
it's
Bob,
not happening.
The key is it's a one-time important thing that happens in your life.
You need it right.
You really do. And you look at it, you say, wow, I mean, you just look at some of those pictures there, how great the cinematography was.
You have to do what you say, and that's the main thing, is just be reputable, do what you say, and don't bite off more than you could chew. Like, we know our limits, what we can do and what we can't do. We know how many weddings we could do a day. We know, you know, what options we have available for people. We just make sure that everything, and the hall too, that's a whole nother thing. You know, like I said, I did plan on being a venue owner. But I'll tell you who really helped me with that was Eric Brandt from, you know, used to do Beano Country Club. When I first started, I was like, well, I want to be referred by him, and I want to be referred by Tommy and all that from Savoy, because they're, you know, the tops. So, but Eric, I had him come in and kind of give me a little consultation of, you know, what should be done and what needs to be done, and you know, how to handle things with that, and that really helped me a lot because like I said, I always seen it from I'm the DJ end of it or the photographer end of it. Right. But now you have to be there, like rehearsal dinners and rehearsals, and you know, just make sure when people come in, everything flows, man. Yeah. It's you know, some people have it in their head that you just show up to the party and it just happens, and if someone's not handling who's bringing in the food or who you're doing your ceremony, you got to keep everybody apart until they walk down the aisle. Like just different things, you know, how to keep the party flowing. And luckily that even when we do weddings at our hall, I feel like I've got plenty of experience, and our staff has plenty of experience to make sure they have the most amount of party time. Right. And we're almost like wedding maitre d's or, you know, banquet managers because we have the experience of doing that. But behind the scenes stuff is like, okay, what color are your tablecloths? You need this.
That's true.
That's a whole other thing, man. You know, and so
a lot of detail.
I'm on the learning curve with that. My guys, like, they'll pick up the phone and they're saying, "Oh, you're interested in the hall? Yeah, let me just send you to Bob." And then I have to deal with all this stuff because it's so involved. Even just typing up a contract, like what they're getting, what's included, you know, how many people. Like it's a whole different ballgame, man. And you know, I never planned on that, but I'm enjoying it. It's fun. That's for sure.
Well, again, you're a people person, and you enjoy dealing and helping people, and there's nothing better than helping people, you know, and that makes you really feel good. And I'm glad you're there, too, because a lot of the weddings that I've done, people said to me, you know, they're usually 50, 60, 70 people. Where can we go? You know,
for smaller.
Yeah, exactly, a smaller venue, and you certainly have that. And the other good thing is they can have catering. You know, you've got all kind of potential caterers.
Yeah, we give them a list of people and have, you know, they can call them or they could bring their own. I always tell them, look, if you're bringing your own caterer or you're cooking your own food or whatever you're doing, you know, just make sure that there's someone that is in control of the food, because a lot of times people say, you know what, my family's got this. They're going to come in with their box of food and put it down, and then they're going to party. And now who's getting it from the hot box to the sternos? Who's stirring it? Who's packing it up? Who's serving it? Like, you know, they don't think of that part, but that's a big part, because now say you do the introduction, you know, you've done their first dance, they've done the blessing and toast. Okay, we're going to call tables. Oh, wait, the food's still in a box on the floor. Like, who's putting it there? I mean, we're hall rental, we help. But, you know, we'll help her. I mean, believe me, I've lit sternos and put water in pans and kept things moving. But, you know, we're already doing a lot with the hall. Like, most halls just say, here's the key, good luck, you know. I mean, I'm not saying like a country club or whatever. They have a whole staff and banquet managers and all. But a hall, if you're getting a hall, usually it's just like, here's the hall, good luck. And that's it. With us, we always try to make sure that someone's there to help. You know, and we do have the beverage package, which is cool, which is like, you know, the soda and juices and all that. So we do kind of help them with that.
They're allowed to bring their own.
It's BYOB, so we do that with them as well. But, again, we'll have a licensed insured bartender, because it just can't be a free-for-all where everybody's got open bar at their table. Like, you can't, you know.
I don't know, Bob, speaking of bar, if you saw what Murphy's trying to do. I really like John Berzacelli, and he was a assemblyman for the 3rd District, and he would come on and talk about New Jersey is so antiquated because of the way the liquor licenses go out. And then the problem is...
And they're expensive.
Exactly. And the reason they are is there's so few of them, and then the people who have them don't want them putting more out because then their value goes down. So it's trying to balance it out as to how you can do that. But certainly in most states, there are plenty of liquor licenses. I know in New Jersey, like for liquor stores, it's one for every 10,000, or like, and if it's township, you get one plenary and one wholesale or one liquor store type license, and that's, you know, it's all based on population. But I got as big as Vineland is with all the opportunities there. In fact, the guy that has the restaurant, the Quinn restaurant's a friend of mine, and he was talking to me one day about liquor license, and that was when Sandy Taylor or Sandy Forsiski was coming in, and we talked about it, and I said, you'd be better off right now, the way the state's set up, is to get the wine license from Cedar Rose Winery, and he did. So he hooked up, he hooked up that way.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the Hotel Charlesworth, they've got the Cedar Rose Winery, and Larry's too has Bellevue Winery.
Okay.
So, and again,
but then you could only sell their, like, that wine from them.
Exactly, that's correct. But what's good is, even though they have those wines, you're allowed to bring your own. So, in fact, my friend down in Fortescue at the Hotel Charlesworth was talking about it gets a little expensive because it's like maybe $32 a bottle. So people bring their own, I don't know, what is it, $12 or $15 or something like that. So any restaurant, a sit-down restaurant, is open in New Jersey for BYOB, to the best of my knowledge. So with you, it's
expensive. We looked at it, and there was one available for a liquor license, but man, what did they want? It was
hundreds of thousands, right?
It was like $250. So I'm like, man, I can put another building on. I'm not, I can't, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's no way. It's not happening. Because then, in order to pay for that, now you have to do things during the week to sell alcohol. And that's not. We have enough going on
the weekends.
With the weekends and the weddings and all that. So, I'd love to be able to have that, but that's not an option for us right now at all. So my thing is, if I could just get the building added on, that would be a huge thing, because then we'll have, like I said, a bigger venue, a smaller room for the smaller parties, outside area, bridal suite, which is huge because a lot of brides, they want to get ready early.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you see Turkey Track, I mean, they have an amazing setup out there on Carmel Road. Turkey Track. They have a wedding venue, and they're really amazing. They have a beautiful bridal suite, outside area for ceremony, cocktail, good sized room. So we're kind of more on, I guess, their level, not their level. We're, they're way ahead right now, but that's more of our style that we're probably going to go with, is like that, because, like I said, we don't have the liquor license and all that kind of stuff. It's just too much.
Surprised me. My daughter got married in Ocean City. I was saying, how are you going to do that? It's a dry community. She at the country club or whatever where she got.
Was it Great Bay or Flanders or?
No, it was Great Bay. I think it was It was on the
by
bay.
Summers Point.
Yeah, right. And but anyway, the way they set it up in Ocean City is the bride and groom's party has to buy the liquor, and then you bring it to the venue, and they serve it for you. But the good thing was, it's whatever's left over that's not open, you could take it back.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that works out nicely in that venue. But it's unbelievable, Ocean City, and when you look at Ocean City being a dry community, there's really no great restaurants there because people want to have a drink with a
glass of wine or something.
Right? And Cape May has phenomenal restaurants and that type of thing. Even Upper Township has Tuckahoe Inn and things like that. But God bless them. And I love Ocean City. Now you grew up in North Jersey, so you didn't come down to the Jersey Shore.
Well, we lived in Garfield, so from there, our closest one would probably be like Seaside Heights. I used to go to Seaside Heights around there. Wildwood was the big trip. It was a little bit of a ride, but it had more stuff going on.
More excitement.
The tram car.
Watch the tram car, please. Yes, as well. So you got some exciting things going forward for you as well. And Bob, I mean, you fit into what I always told the students. You love what you do. You know what I mean? And
you don't feel like you're working.
Exactly.
Although I work 24/7, I feel like, but
but at least you love it. You know what I mean? And that's like me doing the show. this isn't work. This is fun. I get to talk to good people like you. And
right, and the money just rolls in.
Oh, yeah, right. That I wish were the case. And, you know, it's funny, too, as you talk about that, the things have changed so much because advertising for radio is struggling immensely. I'm certainly, in fact, Bob and I were talking about when Greg Kennis used to do the car shows, we were really rolling in money, things were good, everything was happening, and then all of a sudden, people want a certain car, they just pick up the phone, they put whatever they want, shows it, price, and they don't have to sit for an hour to watch what's the next car that's coming up.
Well, it's similar like us, too, because the same thing, everybody's a DJ now. They just download stuff from YouTube or wherever.
Right. Good point.
You know, they're using their phone for the photography. And, you know, hey, everybody's got their budget. They can do what they need to do to make it happen, do-it-yourself type stuff. But we've seen so many horror stories where people have, like, it's funny because my photographer, Angela, she just did a wedding a little while ago, and it was kind of like that. And, you know, the song, they didn't have good Wi-Fi, so their first dance is cutting in and out. Then they couldn't do it. They had to bring in a truck.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. Like, you know, I mean, you can only do what you can do. But, you know, it's tough because you want their day to be perfect. And everybody's trying to save money and do it. But like you said, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, hopefully, and you want everything to be perfect. And you know, that we just try to do the best we can with everybody.
And,
you know?
and the nice thing is you have it there for the rest of your life to see.
Right.
So you want it to be done right.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't
it's
say,
horrible.
Oh, geez, that's
you don't want to go viral
up. Exactly.
for the wrong. You don't want to be memorable for a bad reason.
Reasons, when it's been going viral on Facebook or something, it's like, oh, no, we don't want that. And, you know, again, you got pros. And Bob is the pro and all of his people that he has with him, and they've done many years of experience, and it's been, what, 20-some years?
I started 2003, started the company, and then, like I said, did it part-time, and then just kept adding, and it wasn't like I set up this, you know, some people say, we want to be the biggest. That's not what we went for. We were just like, as we were going along, you know, we added Alvin, we added Ricky, we added Eric. And again, they were all bilingual, which helps because, especially in this area, and they're professionals. So it's not like, hey, just a guy from the bar. You know, we went to training in North Jersey. We always did, we belonged to the New Jersey Disc Jockey Network, where you would just learn from people in North Jersey that have been doing it 20-something years, 30 years now, 40 years. You know, so we learned a lot, and we brought a lot into this area, like the plasma screens and all. Like, they weren't really doing that a lot down here, and then we brought a lot of the different stuff from there here, and you know, so I feel good about that. And then everybody obviously starts doing their own take on it. But you know, we were doing these things a long time ago, and some of them were like, you know what, we don't want to do them anymore because there's other stuff to do. So we're constantly adding and growing, and again, now I got the new guys; they're hungry to do different stuff. So they're sick. You don't even know.
It's amazing, isn't it? The younger guys are like phenomenal. It's like, wow.
Well, they had the edge because they have the social media skills right off the bat growing up.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
we were like learning curve.
Yes.
You know, believe me, I'm in the office like, hey, I could do this or that, but you know, when they say, well, you know, if you did this, all right, cool. You know, let's do it that way. But sometimes I'm a little stubborn. I'm like, no, let's not do it that way. But then I come around because, you know, they're right usually, you know. So and, you know, they know their stuff, man. So
I'm so bad I can't even find my email without George. So I don't know what I do without George and Bobby. It's my people that help me out because I am technology.
And always check your spam and junk mail too, because sometimes stuff goes there and you're like, man, I didn't see that email. Well, that's where it went. So you never know.
Yeah, that's true.
Things catch spam for different reasons. So
good point as well.
I found a lot of weddings. Like at one point, I started going through stuff saying, oh my God, all these weddings that I never got back to people. Like you know, I didn't let it get too far because really I check my spam every day. So just to make sure.
Yeah, you know, that's smart. Yeah.
You know.
What is your email address?
Bob@BMEEventGroup.com.
That's easy.
Yeah. Or if they go through the website, it would be info@BMEEventGroup.com. And again, we were Bob Morgan Entertainment a long time because it was just me and then it was a couple guys. But but once we added the photography and video and all the other stuff, then it was BME Event Group because we used to do wedding blogs back in the day where at the end of the wedding, we'd say, hey, did you have a good time? You know, we'd interview the couple. Sometimes maybe had a little too much to drink, whatever. But we'd always say, hey, you have a good time? You know, I want to thank your friends and family and all. So they would thank it, and they'd say, oh, Bob Morgan was great. And I wasn't even at the wedding. It was my guys. So I felt like calling it BME Event Group really helped out.
Yeah.
And, just made it shorter. We don't catch spam as much with the, it doesn't say entertainment, so that's huge.
Yeah.
But, we're a group. Like, some people say they're an event group, but we're an event group. Like, we have everything you need for a party or a wedding or, we have every service. Like, we're not driving limos, but please, that's another nightmare. That's the happening.
I don't know. You could do that too. No, you got enough on your plate to do what you're doing. And I wish you well, Bob, with that expansion possibility.
Thanks.
But folks, if you need a meeting place, it's a great place to go for during the week. We were there last Wednesday. The organization I belong to, we probably had about 60, 80 people there.
Yeah, it's fun.
And Bob kept giving me diet soda, and I was happy. I was saying, this is good, So, and it's an opportunity for you, to learn. You have line dancing, you have yoga.
Yeah, they do the country line dancing. Dawn Sharp does that. She does that on Tuesday nights from 6 to 9. And then on Wednesday mornings now, it just started 2 weeks ago. Today, they did it this morning. That is from 10 to 12. During the day. So for the older people that don't want to drive at night, or they have that time during the day, some of them are school bus drivers, so they need that little time in between. They go there, do country line dance, and then they pick the kids up after school, whatever.
Great.
But that's Lynn Powell Hewling. She is a really good instructor too. So she does that, and then yoga is going to be starting up in March again, and that's like Monday at 6 a.m. I'll be sleeping. Monday at 6 a.m. and then 5:30, and then she's doing Wednesday and then Thursday. So, but you can check it out. I'll put it on the website. That way you see all that when it starts happening. And again, we're always doing different events during the week. Some smaller fundraisers, baby showers, weddings, parties, repasses. We've done so much stuff there already in the past year and a half that we've done it. And, we're looking forward to many more. And we just like meeting everybody and making sure everything, like I said, it's had a lot of memories over the years in that building. We want to keep making memories.
That is neat.
It's been fun.
Great memories there, too. Bob, thank you, buddy, for coming in.
You're very welcome. I appreciate it.
Keep up the good work. Yeah, it's been great. I'll see you soon. I know we'll have another meeting.
Yeah, I got the diet sodas ready to go.
Good. I'm happy.
All right, cool. All right, cool.
Bob Morgan of BME Event Group has been our guest and the owner of, formerly of Bob Morgan Entertainment, and has beautifully renovated the Neptune, and we all love the Neptune. So Quinn, take a look at it, and anything you need done, Bob pretty much can do it for you, with entertainment, with video, with music, all the good things. And he's got people that are professional that'll do it for you properly. So for Bob Morgan, I'm Jim Quinn, and for our producer, George Kachia, we thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll see us real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Cool. Good job. Thank you.
This has been a QBC television production in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22 and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.